feel you maybe let the points slip there at the end?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've controlled and dominated you know, the home side really well. Thought our tempo was good, quality was as good as I've seen it. But we've not let it slip in the last 5 minutes. You know, we've let it slip in the first half to completely dominate a team like Luton and then not score the goals and not upskill the quality. You know, first half we got a lot of good interchange, a lot of combination play, and we didn't hit the target enough. You know, there wasn't just that final bit of quality, and you know, you've got to come here. It's a tough place to come, and while you're on top of teams, you've got to really, you know, score and get up in terms of goals, because at 1-0 it's a dangerous scoreline. You know, for the last 10 minutes they've thrown caution to the wind, throw 5 or 6 bodies up front and cause us problems. But you know, that's, like I said, from dealing with it in the 85th minute. I'd rather deal with it from the first minute and try and get up a steam and you know, win games in the first half, and that's what we should have done.
Yeah, I mean, you did. You opened them up and you had 4 or 5 attempts on goal. They were a bit powder puff, weren't they, the attempts on goal?
Just didn't have the quality, you know, didn't have the quality or real power behind them. But you know, to open them up, and you know, a very well organised and well drilled, you know, John Still team. You know, at times they couldn't deal with it, sort of our offensive play, but we've got to have more product from it, and that's where the game we lost tonight.
But it wasn't so much in the chances, was it? We didn't creating the chances, do you think?
Oh, we're creating chances. Yeah. You know, you've got Louis' cross for Danny Rose that skips across. You've got, you know, Nicky Adams and Danny Mayer causing havoc down the left-hand side. You've got Tutty driving from me, a couple of shots that weren't, again, just on target. So, you know, we know where the problems lie, and we've dominated Cheltenham, you know, last week and still. So it's something that you know, we're going to look at, keep improving on. You know, but like I said to him at half time, a clean sheet wins you the game, and you know, we've not kept one. And but that's what's going to happen. Caution to the wind. Teams are going to throw them bodies, and we've got to dig in and deal with that situation.
I mean, they've had a shot on goal because.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I think over the last 4 or 5 games we've played, you know, there's not been many shots, and Schwan or Rob's not had too much to do. But that's the football we're trying to design. And we've got to make sure we're fully concentrated in the performance. And I've just said to the players then, you know, 99% concentration leads to 100% failure, and that's exactly what's happened tonight. So we're going to take a lot of positives from the game. You know, we've come here and played the way we want to play, and been very brave on the ball, brave in the passing, and you know, we've drawn a game that we should have definitely won.
A game at 7:45. Perhaps a lot of people say, well, the draw's not the worst result.
No, you know, we've come here to win. Everyone can see that. You know, teams who come here to draw will sit behind the ball and get, you know, 10 men behind the ball. We haven't done that. We've looked to carve them, looked to open them, and looked to control and dictate the game, which we did. So, you know, it's one of them places that they won't give up here. You know, the record last season was quite incredible. I think they only lost 2 games here all last season. So it's a tight environment. You know, it can get on top of you, and I think sometimes the referees, you know, get caught on top of, and you know, it's one of them places where I think the crowd started making a few, you know, daft refereing decisions. Which, what it does do, it piles pressure when there's no need for pressure, especially when you're attacking the, you know, the home end. You know, but they're important that your officials down here try and get the balance right and the consistency right. And I think second half he didn't really.
7 out of 9 would have looked great, wouldn't it? But 5 out of 9 is not the worst, is it?
We're all right. 4 out of 9. We're all right. You know, I'd have been happy, obviously, with a 6. You know, I really would. But we're all right. We know what we're going. We know what we're doing. We'll evaluate the stats, and you know, we know where we are. We're certainly getting better. We're producing performances. A confidence building. You know, I look at some of the Nicky Adams' performance was outstanding. Tutty's performance. The back 3, Nathan Cameron was outstanding again. Rob Layton very sure on his work. And Danny Rose scores. So I'm looking at the overall picture. We've got Danny Mayer away from home as an attacking wing back, and first half I thought he's exceptional, and he's tired because of, you know, what he's had over the last few weeks. So we'll be all right. We'll certainly be all right, and a lot of teams will come here and struggle to gain points, but you know, it's still 2 points lost tonight, and that's what, you know, we've got to recover from pretty quickly.
What was the thinking on the changes, Vickers, from Saturday? A couple of changes. Nards is on the bench there, and Hussey as well.
We just felt as though they're quite lopsided. This team's quite lopsided, and the wingers don't really enjoy getting back in. You know, they're very offensive players. So I wanted to sort of see Danny Mayer go up against, you know, the full-back Franks and really take the full-backs that way, and then it limits the support to Benson, which we did fantastically well first half. Nard's just had a bit of a groin problem, and he just had a lack of power in his groin, so that's something that we led to caution. And really, he was never coming on the pitch tonight. It was more of a fear factor to have Danny on there, and you know we've tried to get him right. I think he'll be okay for Saturday, but I certainly don't want to, you know, lose Danny Nardiello for more than 2 to 4 weeks. So a bit more caution, but you know whichever combination with Perm, I thought Pooley did well when he come on. You know, worked hard and held the ball up for us. So you know we've got some good options all over the pitch now.
James still trying to persuade you to give him a contract?
He is, but I think his performances will do that. You know, I've not really spoke to him regarding it. I think he knows that it'll be about his training performances and game performances, and he's had an opportunity tonight. But we'll just keep assessing that one and see where it takes us. But he's certainly not done himself any harm tonight.
Danny Rose, great signing. Perseverance won in the end.
I think the day he went back, the day the season finished, you know, you could see the swell of support from the players and certainly the board and our staff. You know, it's someone that we have chased from day one. He's a signing that, you know, we all wanted to make. You know, we're trying to build a team for now, for the medium term and the long term, and he fits all them. He fits all them aspects. So he is the future. He represents. You know, I can send any kid in the academy to watch him and they'll see the work rate and endeavour he possesses, but he's a killer instinct. He wants to score goals. He's alive in the box. When everyone stands still, he's moving forward, and you know, it's a signing that really does look to the future of what we're trying to build and not just the now. And
that's a perfect example of that goal, wasn't it, of just not stopping and not giving up?
He won't give up. He won't give up. It's just inbred in him, you know, not to give up and keep fighting. And he sniffed an opportunity and just poked it in. But that's Danny. He causes you problems. He does, and you know, he wears you down. And then he's just a signing that the lads, when they saw it, you know, when they felt it, and you know, they was buzzing with it and well. So it's been well received from everyone. And he's someone who I do love working with.
Is that it for the time being, bringing players in?
Possibly, but again, you know, we'll look at tonight's game and evaluate that and the start we've had. And if there's someone out there who improves our squad, then you know we'll look to bring them in, because you know we've not made no loan signings yet. We've tried to build a squad with our own players and trying to develop our own players. But you know, I look at that team now, and it's certainly developing. You know, you've got Nathan Cameron, you've got Danny May, you've got Nicky Adams, Danny Rose. You've got a great blend between experience and youth in that team. You really have. And some good leaders in it, so you know I see a team developing and a bright future if we can just keep on the right path.
Yeah, I mentioned one man there. You just mentioned Nathan Cameron. He's like, wow, wow. What's happened there?
What's happened is Nathan's dug in. He's fought. He didn't want to leave. He's had opportunities to leave a couple of times, not took it. We sat down in the summer, give him a programme, stripped down his body weight, his upper body weight. He did a lot of work in the summer, and I think he lost something like 5 kgs from his upper body and muscle mass. And you know, he's just slowly calmed down in the environment and then become a learner. And he's a top learner. You see his focus, you see his concentration, and you see his fitness levels. But the one thing that's impressed me is his ball retention. When he retains the ball, there's a calmness about him. I think it's helped playing against such a top player in Pabs. I think that's helped him and calmed him. I think he was unfairly judged when he was in the team before I come. But
is that because of people alongside him?
Potentially, or you know, different change. We've tried to keep us steady, settled. Even last season when Voss come in, we kept us steady. You know, back 4 or back 5. And now, you know, the last 3 games, he's been an outstanding performer in 3 games, and he's just getting better. So I'm delighted with him. I really am. He's young, he's dynamic. He's 20, 21, 22, 6'2", powerful, quick. But there's an assurance now in his game and a calmness, and you know, he's been the find of the season, really.
He has. Looks like he's enjoying it as well.
Yeah. He's a learner. He really does take every breath on. We've set an environment where people can learn, and he's embraced that environment. He's become part of it, and you know, we're seeing real gains, massive gains.